the Mindful Athlete Podcast. We empower individuals through conversation of athletic performance, recovery, and philosophy. Enjoy the episode.
Right, started.
We're live.
I know, first time. So I'm Josh. This is Harrison or Finney. We're just
Yeah.
we're just starting this podcast as a little bit of a bit of fun, really, ain't it? Because we talk a lot of shit anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different, is it?
Exactly. It's just, yeah. Is that your dog?
Yeah, man. So, look, come here, mate.
Trying to get listeners by just getting the dog out.
Cute dog for the listeners, mate.
Cute dog.
That's the Instagram clip right
That's
there.
the Instagram clip right there. The OnlyFans model.
Yeah, that's our clicks right there.
Right then.
Right then.
So,
Let's get started.
so today, guys, we're just going to do a bit of an introductory, so you can get to know a bit about me and Harrison. So, one of us will start off with a question. I'll answer it, or he'll answer it, depending on who's asked it, and then we'll go back and forth until we've done all them questions. So, do you want to go first, mate? You got anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, so once I'm just like bring up my notes. Right, so Quezzies for bird.
Quezzies for bird.
So when did you start training?
So I started training, I was about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Obviously training because I had a bigger goal in mind. I wouldn't say I was overweight at the time, but I was very unfit. I was obese when I was quite younger. So as I got older, got into fitness, never really liked PE, if I'm honest, even though I did take it as a subject. Started off just doing the normal gym stuff. Started off running. Remember my first run, it was just like, I think it was like 1.3 miles. I can show it you later if you want. And it was like absolutely dog shit. It was like, I think it took me 20 to 30 minutes to do my first run. So I was very unfit. Then obviously got fitter, then started doing the gym at school with a few mates. Left the school gym, went to a gym. It was called the Fitness Junction. That's closed now. That's a bit of a blast from the past. And then found CrossFit. I know you're not a very big fan of that, but
No, it's not that I'm not a big fan.
yeah,
I respect the athletes.
yeah.
I mean,
But I think
yeah,
the thing
everyone to themselves.
The thing that I like about that though is that it's just so broad, and you get people in one class, someone who's never done fitness before, to someone, well, they have done fitness because they have to do an introductory course at my gym. And then you get people who are like bordering on going on that like elite athlete, which is pretty cool because you've got everyone doing the same workout. It's just that it's scaled very different.
Yeah. No, I like the community with CrossFit. It's kind of like a cult in my eyes.
I get that, but I think that's what puts a lot of people off. But it's actually like a super friendly atmosphere. But,
yeah, it's like the click, innit?
Yeah, exactly. But it's that primal instinct. Like you always do better in an environment where it's kind of like a team. Like it's like a tribe, isn't it? If that makes sense. So you always do better in that sort of way. All right, my question for you: how did you get into fitness?
So originally, as you all know, it was kind of I had big aspirations with the armed forces, but so I was 17 doing a public services course in college.
Yeah.
I was 50 kilo, like wet, and the minimum requirement to get in was 65 kgs.
Yeah.
So then I got a big bulk. Yeah, mate, 15 kilo. It's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So it kind of started out with, I didn't understand fitness at all at this point. So I was trying to put on weight and I was running.
Yeah.
I'd go to the gym, I'd hop on the row machine and just do random shit, basically.
Yeah, I was the same.
But yeah, and then eventually I started going on to the compound lifts,
Yeah.
bit of deadlifting,
Mm.
hit the 65, and then it kind of just went from there. I mean, my aspirations have changed a bit now
Yeah.
with life, but
Life tends to get in the way, don't it? But is what
yeah,
it is.
a lot of stuff's changed, mate. But now, like,
Mm.
I'm 80 kilo now, so it's been
Big
a
boy.
big jump.
Big boy.
Yeah, 40 kilo jump, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's how it kind of started.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Nice. You do a bit more of like a hybrid athlete now, don't you? So like obviously you do like your running and then you do quite a lot of powerlifting as well alongside that, don't you?
Yeah, I've become quite infatuated, to be honest, with like that style of training
Yeah.
because I tried taking a break, so I thought, oh right, I won't get jacked. I was maybe like 74, 73 kilo, and I thought I won't get jacked.
Yeah.
So I took maybe 6 weeks off
Yeah.
of running and just did GVT style training. If you don't know what that is, it's German
Yeah.
volume training. I'm sure you know though. And I felt like something was missing, to be honest. Like I didn't have like, when you've got an event coming up and you've got
Yeah.
that like sense of like
Yeah.
fear of like you want to perform.
Yeah.
I was missing that. I was missing like the excitement of like an event or a
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I signed myself up for a 50k ultra.
Oh, I'm going to ask you about that in a bit actually as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now my training is like a lot of powerlifting
Yeah.
and a lot of low intensity running, to be
Yeah.
fair.
But we'll make a CrossFitter out of you yet.
No, mate, there is no chance I survive an Olympic lift. My first one, I die.
But see, that's what gets me. Like, a lot of people with the Olympic lifts, you see them like they just go straight onto a barbell like nothing, and you kind of like, I don't think you should be doing that straight away. Like
Yeah.
with me, I learnt with a stick, and like you used to be like sweating, like absolutely sweating, like trying to hold each position to try and get stronger in it. Just with like a broomstick, it's mental. It's like when you do Olympic lifting, it's kind of like you have to earn your way to use a barbell, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
that's one of my problems with some of the fundamentals of CrossFit is beginners with resistance training, like
Yeah,
in them kind of forms.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of clubs like yourself do it well with like the introductions and that.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like that's definitely the way to go. I think, but it's like any gym. Like, say if you get a powerlifting gym, you're always going to get bad gyms, aren't you? So like,
oh yeah, definitely.
not all of them are going to be what good gyms are they?
No.
No.
However, I think that brings me on to my next question.
What's that?
Like within the gym atmosphere, what's like your biggest pet peeve?
Oof. So obviously, I work in a Globo gym as we call it in CrossFit, like a normal gym.
Yeah.
So like you do see quite a lot. So I've got quite a few actually. So like pet peeve number one, not learning technique first. So like they're not learning the mechanics of the movement first. Number two, it's got to be squatting with the fucking barbell pad. That's like that really.
Yeah, fair one.
And then next one's got to be squatting on a Smith machine. Like I hate the Smith machine. Biggest pet peeve though out of them is the two combined, wearing as what I call a bitch pad on the Smith machine. Like, it absolutely does my head in. Like I don't know how people do it. Like if it's on your neck, then obviously it's in the wrong position, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really pass judgment on what people do in the gym, really.
Yeah.
But I think the main issue of a barbell pad is like how much it takes the bar up and back. I think using one would just knock me off balance massively.
Yeah, same.
It takes a lot of the fundamentals out of the movement.
Well, I hate it so much because I used to be that guy who used it. And now that I do it with that, it's such a better way.
Yeah, you've become a man.
Yeah, become a man. Right.
Yeah.
My next question for you is, what's your biggest accomplishment so far in life?
Um, I, are we talking training or are we talking like life or
Anything,
both?
absolutely anything. It can be anything.
So, if we're going training, I'd probably say it was a charity event I did a few years ago
Yeah,
where I did an Everest rope climb. So I think it was
yeah,
like on the rope I was doing it on. I think
yeah.
it was like 2,528 climbs in total.
Ooh. Bet your
And
elbows loved you.
I had tendonitis.
Oh,
Every I went in. I ignored the tendonitis, which probably wasn't the best idea.
yeah.
But after about just a week of rope climbing, because it took me just under a month, I think it
Mm,
was.
yeah,
I mean, I was 18. I probably had about a year's worth of training, so
yeah.
I wasn't ready to do it in a day. But it took me a month of just
Yeah,
every day climbing, climbing, climbing.
yeah.
And after I'd climbed, my tendonitis was just like so inflamed that my arms were stuck like this.
Yeah.
And I thought, like,
Do
mate,
you, do you,
I'm gonna have to quit.
do you,
I,
with your tendonitis though, did you feel like it felt all right when you was doing it? It was after.
yeah, so as I was doing it, it was like I'd climb the rope, that's
Yeah,
fine. And I thought, I know that once I stop climbing this
yeah,
rope, it's gonna
yeah,
hurt.
yeah,
So I just have to keep climbing, just get as
yeah.
many as I can in today, because
Mm,
after I've done this for the rest of the day, I'm gonna be in pain.
yeah.
And 30 days later, I finally did it, which was
Nice.
pretty mint.
Yeah,
And if we're talking about in life, then it'd probably be starting a family. I mean, I'm
yeah,
only 21, but yeah, it feels pretty good.
yeah. Nice,
Right, let's do a quizzy for you.
nice.
Um, what is your training style, and why did you choose that?
So I didn't, I didn't actually, fi- I didn't actually choose my training style. I stumbled upon it. So like
That's a good way to put it.
yeah. So like I always said that like in school, if there was a sport to do with fitness, I would absolutely love it. Like I'd be all right in it. Um,
Yeah,
and obviously I didn't really know what CrossFit was. Like I thought it was like not to sound like sexist, but like I thought it was like one of them classes that you see like old women go to. But then
yeah,
like
spinning.
yeah, then I stumbled upon it because I was looking for a job in a gym, and obviously the gym I was at, they gave me a bit of like work experience, like helping out and that to start with. And I just saw like CrossFit, like I started around about the same time the CrossFit Open was on, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh my God, this is pretty cool. This is, you're seeing them like do it overhead squats, muscle ups, and I'm like, I really want to do this sort of thing. So like obviously they helped me do it, and then about 5 years later now, I am where I am. Like still an average CrossFitter, but like uh, I absolutely love it. Like you, there's so many different things to learn. Like for me, like I can stay disciplined and like just do like let's say powerlifting where you've got like three lifts, but like with CrossFit it's so much more enjoyable because you've got to be good at so many things. Like it's
yeah,
being
different skills.
yeah. So like you're learning different things. So like no workout's the same, but it doesn't mean that you're not getting progressive overload.
Yeah,
It's just being varied in all domains. Like CrossFit is constantly varied functional movement. So like you are constantly varied. So like at the minute, I'll do the classes and then I do some extra programming with my coach. Um,
yeah,
because literally I gave him such a big list and it was hilarious. He was like, I think you should just focus on a few of these rather than all of them, but the good goals. So at the
yeah,
minute, I'm doing a lot of cleans. So like just on top of that, I'm also doing muscle ups, and then I'm doing handstand push ups as extras at the minute. So like
fairs.
just varying it up, and then once I'm good at that, I'll probably move on to another thing. But it's very hard. Like you'll see like the top athletes, and like it must be so hard for them because they've got to be good at everything. So if you're too good in one area, then you're gonna do well in one event, but you're not gonna do well in another. So like
Yeah,
the best way to put it is being mediocre at everything. So
yeah, yeah,
being good enough to do really well in one thing, but like not being exceptionally well. Like if you look at a runner, they're going to be amazing at running, but they're not going to be pretty good at anything else. So like if you put them in a
yeah.
strength event,
I was gonna say that that definitely links to cross training
yeah,
because with like hybrid training, you have to like control the variables so much,
yeah,
like the volume, the resistance, what days you're resting,
yeah,
because you don't want it to affect the next training session
yeah.
or
Mhm. So like
vice versa.
what I learned when doing my CrossFit level one, they say that doing 3 on, then 1 day off is the best approach. Obviously, I never
Hmm.
implemented it, so I've implemented it in the past few months, and like it's enough days to get that much intensity in, but then like you're also getting that rest day at the end,
Yeah,
and then you're doing it again and again and again, and that's working
yeah.
pretty well.
I never realised the importance of a rest day until maybe 8 months ago.
What, when I had to tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I understood like
yeah,
you need to rest to recover. I just
yeah,
get so bored. I just
yeah.
want
I
to
get
do
it.
something. I want to be
I,
moving.
I I used to be the same before I didn't really know the importance. Like I remember my first competition as a teen. It was like a whole weekend event, and I was like, "Oh, it's a bank holiday, so there's a team class on the Monday," and I just turned up. And then I remember the guy who owns the gym, my coach, he was just like, "Oh, Josh, well done. You've done so well, but you won't be doing today's class. You'll be sitting in this corner just stretching."
Oh,
Yeah, but
put in the corner.
yeah, but it works. He is right in what he said.
Yeah.
I could have, well, I did injure myself seriously at that comp. Well, I wouldn't say seriously, but like I had tendonitis after from because it was that much running and that much skipping. Like, my shins were just ruined. Like I could barely walk after one event.
Yeah. I mean, I've been quite lucky with injuries. I've never really had anything except from shin splints.
Yeah,
I don't get that anymore though, but
yeah,
I used to.
but they're horrible though in themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Who asked the question last? Was it you or
I asked you the
yeah?
question.
Next
Yeah.
question for you. Biggest joys of being a parent?
Right. I'm gonna be honest. It's hard.
Yeah,
Like, but that's what makes it so good
yeah.
because without the hard things in life, you lack appreciation for just like
I fully
the
get that.
quiet moments.
Yeah,
So it's quite rewarding because like one day you're just like tired. You've had like maybe 2 hours sleep.
I suppose a lot of people who have got kids can really relate to that as well.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
I have no idea what that's like.
Like training with a kid's hard. Like
Yeah,
I've never wanted to loosen up on my training. So when he first came along,
yeah,
it was very much like I'd be sending my mum videos of me training at like 2 o'clock in the morning with
yeah,
a kettlebell outside because like maybe he's woke me up and I've
yeah.
gone downstairs for just a break or just peace of mind or something. And I'd just be doing goblet squats outside with a kettlebell at 2 o'clock in the morning
I
just because
remember
I
you
knew the day
mentioning that.
after. Yeah, the
Yeah,
day after would just be so busy and hectic that
yeah,
that's the only time I could get it in.
yeah,
But I look back at it now, like at the time, I was so tired all the time. But I look back at it now and I feel like it definitely made me a better person.
yeah,
Like that hardship just kind of like just
yeah,
formed me.
yeah,
So it's definitely worth it. And that's probably the best part.
yeah. Any hardship? So they're your main hardships with it. What I suppose you're looking forward to it when he's a bit older and you can do stuff with him more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, they grow up quick though. And anyone who's a parent who might be listening will like understand it. 1 second you're struggling, and then
yeah,
it just feels like it just goes like so quick, and
mhm,
you seem like a different person every day because they're doing something new.
yeah, yeah,
It's so weird.
uh,
But yeah.
yeah.
Right, let me ask you a question.
All right, mate.
So, how has Stoicism helped you in your daily life?
Well, I feel like it's not necessarily helping you, it just teaches you to be a better person. Like you look at all the books and that, and like I feel like the help, if you get what I mean. Like if you look at Marcus Aurelius's book, like there's no way we should be able to relate to someone who was one of the richest and most powerful men in the world. Like it just teaches you lessons, like
Yeah.
of how to be more grateful in life, being kinder to people every day. Even if you don't get it right every day, it's okay. Like before Seneca, I believe that it was more like no emotion, this, but like after Seneca, it's more like accepting emotion and realizing that you're not. I'm trying to find the words for it, but like just accepting it, but like but feeling the emotion as well. So it's not blocking out your emotions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's about feeling them and thinking, is this going to really change anything? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think Google does like a really big injustice on the word stoic, because
Yeah.
like if you look at Google, it says like going through hardship without emotion and blank
But
of
it's not that.
emotion, and
It's not that at all.
it's not that at all.
Yeah.
No.
Like I found it. So like it was a friend of mine who actually told me about Stoicism a few years ago, actually. But I was like, oh, that's cool. But I never got into reading any of the books or anything. And then like it was when I got told that I could have like a heart condition at the end of last year, and it was a bit
Yeah.
like I can't train, so like I want to get a stronger mind. So like obviously started off reading the Daily Stoic, still reading that now, reading one page a day.
Yeah.
Read Ego is the Enemy, which is another fantastic book by Ryan Holiday, and then
Yeah.
read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and then at the minute I'm reading Letters from a Stoic by Seneca. Which, and
Nice.
like you get, I feel like with them you get like a different perspective on the philosophy as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, this is stuff that was written thousands of years ago,
Yeah,
and it's still got so much relation to
exactly.
nowadays.
It's like
It's
I was
crazy.
I was reading something of Seneca's the other day, and he talks about friendship and that, and like you're like, God, this was written like thousands of years ago, yet it's still so relevant.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which is
It's
mad.
wow, I've just hit a mental block. But yeah, it's like it's got like a negative stigma to it at the minute,
Yeah,
stoicism,
that
with
it's
like
seen.
toxic
Yeah, I was just
masculinity.
about to
But
say that, but I don't see. I feel like people think that it's you have no emotion, feel no emotion, but like I say, it's not, is it?
no,
It's about, yeah, I feel this way, and yeah, it's not a very good feeling, but if if I am going to show emotion, then what's that going to achieve? Am I going?
yeah,
Is it going to help me ultimately in life? Because the Stoics say, like memento mori, like
yeah,
yeah, remember you must die. Like, what's the point in getting too caught up on something that you can't control now? Is that going to make you a happier person?
no.
Ultimately,
It's not
no.
so much about like having no emotions. It's about controlling them,
Yeah,
like not outbursting within a second. It's
yeah,
that. It's like once you start reading these books, you start to
yeah.
like on the pages. They're just quotes at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well,
You
it's a
have to
diary.
start implementing them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I like about
you,
it because you have like all these angel numbers, all this. I just see that as toxic positivity.
yeah,
It's like a block to make you feel better. Whereas like stoicism, it's like what it's sort of like what David Goggins has done. You're getting down into the nitty gritty of why you're feeling this way, and it's about actually making positive changes as opposed
yeah.
to
Not just expecting it to fall
yeah,
on your lap.
not just saying, oh, if I manifest this, this is going to happen. It's more like, right, I can't control this. What can I achieve by worrying about it? Or it's about, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's that big thing at the minute of people just they come up with I just want to be happy, and it's
You
like
can't be happy without hardship though.
no, exactly. Like if you're happy all the time, your dopamine
Yeah,
base levels are so high as well.
exactly. It's toxic
So then it takes
positivity.
more to make you happy. You need that hardship to really understand what happiness is.
Yeah,
Like it's a big ask to say I want to be happy,
exactly.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
But like,
but
yeah,
I feel like one of the big reasons why people get so down, especially like middle-aged men. Like obviously, I'm not an expert on that because I'm only in my 20s. But like I feel like people they get like that monotone 9 to 5 job that don't ever go out of the comfort zones, and it's a bit like, damn, I'm like I'm like 50 years old, and like yeah, I've got like an amazing family and I've got like a great job that pays, but like, what have I achieved so far?
yeah. What you tend to see with that though is these people will do a 9 to 5 job, and then they will come back and you'll say I don't have time for the gym because
Yeah,
I'm entitled to my 4 hours watching Netflix.
yeah,
And it's like, why? Why are you
yeah,
entitled to that?
yeah,
Like, yeah, I get that you pay the bill, but go do something hard.
yeah,
Go, at least spend an hour just trying to improve something about your
exactly,
life, and you'll be so much more happy.
exactly. I feel like that's more so why the midlife crisis happens.
I mean, it's a good
Yeah,
theory. I've never
yeah,
thought about it, to be honest.
yeah. Because you get to that age and you're like, oh shit, I've got this far in life.
Yeah,
You even get quarter life crises as well, where you're like, what do I want? Like,
yeah.
yeah, what
I, I,
what what am I meant to achieve in life?
I think, I think, as the Stoics say, you've just got to accept your fate.
Yeah,
Just choose one thing and charge at it
yeah,
head on.
exactly,
Just put 110% into
exactly.
it. Like, you're never gonna, like, when you achieve something, it's normally like the journey that takes you there that
Yeah,
was worth it. Like,
yeah.
once you achieve it, it means nothing.
It's like,
So you've just got to
yeah,
choose something and just charge at that.
yeah. It's like
Mm.
you'll probably know this from your training as a hybrid athlete, and like I feel like especially in CrossFit, like for me, it's I enjoy training. Like
Yeah,
the competitions are good in that, but like they are very stressful. But like the training, like I I did like the Arnold's as scaled like a few years ago now, and like the best part of it was the training,
yeah,
and like the competition, I just stressed myself out. But training
yeah.
was the best bit.
It's like with my ultra. It's like when I do my ultra, like yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
Mhm.
But it's all them 13, 14, 50 mile runs that have made it.
Yeah,
Like getting out of bed when I didn't want to,
exactly.
so I could fit in like a 13-mile run before work, or it's them little things that I really think
Yeah,
make you a better person in general, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah. Right. Let's go next, Quezzy. We got a bit carried away.
We have indeed. So, favorite
That could be
book.
an episode. Favorite book. I don't know if you've ever heard of this one. It's by Nimsdai Purger. Beyond Possible, I think it's
Oh, is
called.
that the guy who done like three of the hardest mountains? The guys in the SBS.
SBS, yeah,
Yeah,
but he did 14 peaks, I want to believe, over 8,000 meters.
yeah, I've
And
heard
like
of
the
him.
previous guy who did that was like over like 7 years or something, and this guy did it in 7 months. But
Jesus Christ.
the facts might be wrong, but it's crazy.
That even still, like to do that within like a year, 2 years is
Yeah,
the
I mean
toll that it
this
must put on
guy,
the body.
I, for him, he didn't even seem like it was affecting him
Yeah.
physically. It was
Well,
more
like,
like
well, he was from
he had
yeah,
problems with funding and everything. Yeah, so it's crazy.
but he's from Nepal, isn't he? And them guys can like they are
No, yeah,
yeah they are tough. Like they can climb mountains like good.
I mean just look at the Gurkhas.
Yeah. Well, he
It's
was a Gurkha,
crazy.
weren't he, before that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gurkha and then SBS. He's one of the first, I think, if not
yeah,
the first
yeah.
to do
It's
it.
impressive,
So
isn't it?
yeah, but I love that book. I recommend anyone to read
Yeah,
it because that is stoicism in abundance. To be honest.
yeah. Nice. I think
without the tag.
yeah. I think it's your go to ask a little Quasi now.
Yeah, we do the same one.
Same one.
Favorite book? Yeah.
I've got quite a few to be fair. So
Go on,
so
list them.
so like I liked 48 Laws of Power. I know that's quite a controversial book, but
Yeah.
the guy who wrote it, he even said you can either use it for good or bad. So like in a good way, you can see when people are manipulating you,
Yeah.
as opposed to using it on other people and being that really toxic person. So you can kind of sit it. It opens your eyes to the world because you can see, obviously.
What's happening to
Yeah,
you?
exactly.
That's why I read it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't fully agree with the morals, but
yeah,
it
exactly.
helps you understand
But
what's
then,
targeted when
yeah,
it's at you.
another one, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read that a few years ago, and then I reread it a couple of months ago because I actually understood it this time. And
Hmm.
again, that one was wrote in like I think it was the 30s by Dale Carnegie, and it's like amazing because it just teaches you how to be a social person, not necessarily in the way of making friends. It teaches you how to like gain good connections in like business. Like I'd definitely recommend that to anyone in life.
Yeah.
Next one, oh, there's a couple, so like a couple more. So I liked Ego is the Enemy. That's another sort of Stoic book because like especially especially in like life, we tend to get ahead of ourselves, don't we? Like I think
Oh yeah.
ego to an extent is good. Like it gives you momentum, but like if you become if you use that ego in a bad way, that that's when you start to, especially in business, you start to make a lot of mistakes, and that ends up being your downfall. So
Yeah.
it's controlling it. It teaches to control it as opposed to using it in a very negative way. Um,
Yeah.
this one, it's going to be like the proper basic Stoic, but it's got to be meditations.
Yeah.
Like,
The
it's
beginning.
yeah, it's just a guy from so many years ago who was like I said earlier, most powerful man in the world. Like the things that he's talking about, like just nature as well. It doesn't have to be like all the wise quotes. He's just talking about like life, and it's his life, isn't it? And the thing that
Yeah.
I learned from that is to start journaling. And
Yeah. I mean,
even if it's not about how annoyed you are, just write, yeah, just writing down lessons that you've learned in a day,
yeah.
or like what you would say to yourself if that particular situation happened again.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
teaches,
I agree
yeah,
with you.
and it teaches to appreciate like nature as well. Like I said, appreciate nature.
Yeah. I think what's crazy about it is he was pretty much the king of the world at that
Yeah,
point. There's no higher.
it was like, it was,
But yeah, there was still hardship in his life.
yeah,
So people expect like, oh, if I won the lottery, I'd be so much more happy.
yeah,
And it's like, no, like life comes with ups and downs,
yeah,
and at the end of the day, you need to accept that and just accept the
yeah.
fate, basically.
Well, he says in it, "Don't be stained purple." At some point in the book, which purple for people who don't know, purple back then was it was a very rare color. Like it was very hard to acquire. Like you had to kill like certain fish, certain animals to get this color, and like only the rich had it. So what he meant by
Yeah,
that is, don't let pleasure take over your life. Don't let riches take over your life.
yeah. Too much pleasure is pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, re- the book the book is just one of them that I think everyone should read, even if they're not into Stoicism. Just opens
yeah.
it just opens your eyes to life,
I,
and
I think I think with stoicism, it can be used for anything in life. Like
yeah,
you've got a quote for anything. Something goes wrong in your mind, you can link it back to a quote, and you can kind of have a
yeah,
different perspective on what's going
yeah.
on.
But what I really found interesting was apparently he never wanted to be a Roman emperor. He wanted to be something that I watched the other day. He wanted to actually just be a philosopher, but he got told
Yeah.
that he'd still have to wear purple robes because he's from quite a high up family, which he didn't like,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting. But he had a son that turned out to be a bit of a dick, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is quite mad, to be fair, because you've got this person. Yeah, he may not like people, and yeah, he realised that he may act hastily, but like he was such a genuine guy. And then you had like someone whose son came along and was evil, like he was like proper evil.
Yeah. It's a weird one to think about because of the irony of it.
Yeah,
But
but then look at the Queen. She was like the most stoic individual. She was like amazing. And then you have like some of her children who you know aren't aren't the best role models.
yeah, well, we won't get into the Prince Andrew conversation on this one.
Right.
Right. Let's move on.
Next question. Biggest interest, like what are your interests?
Uh, I'm a pretty I'm a pretty simple individual, to be honest.
Yeah. What are your
Like,
simple pleasures then?
yeah, so it's kind of just like I like fitness,
Yeah, that's the same with
and
me.
I like to think about things. Like
Yeah.
I like to, just have different thoughts, try and have a
Yeah.
thought that's not
Yeah.
been thought before, as weird as that sounds.
No, I get that.
And if I've got a negative quality, I want to reflect on why and how I
Yeah.
can change it. It's like
Like
I am
digging.
terrible at maths. Yeah, I am
Yeah.
terrible at maths. So recently I've been trying to teach myself maths. Just
Yeah.
I don't need maths as such, like
Hmm.
not for my job or anything, but
Yeah.
it's just a bad quality that I have, so I want to get better at it.
Yeah.
So I guess self improvement basically.
Yeah. I get that.
That's all I can really base it to.
No, I get that. Your go,
Yeah.
mate.
Right, what's that? Bring up the quizzes again. I get these because I just go blank. Um, what's your favourite quote?
I've got quite a few. I'll just go on like
Yeah,
general advice. One's by Seneca, and it's where he talks about like if you're having to find a new destination to like relieve from life, it's not a change of you know what I mean? Like if you have to go on holiday to just like reset the brain, blah blah blah, to calm down, then it's not a change of destination you need. It's you need to go inside of yourself instead
yeah.
and find
You change something else.
and find sanctuary within yourself. I'd say
Yeah,
I'd say another one is if you if you really want something, don't give up on it. Like just keep on going.
yeah. I like that one.
But at the same time, know when life's trying to take something away from you and know when to move on at the same time. I don't think that's a negative thing. Like people be like, "Oh, never give up, never give up." But like at the same time, if life's telling you something, listen to it.
Yeah, just acceptance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that links to like memento mori. Like you've just got to
Mm,
accept. You can't escape your fate. Just
exactly.
accept what comes.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think that's a negative tone.
No, definitely
You,
not.
I feel like you've got to be realistic with life instead of like it's like fitness, isn't it? If you set an unrealistic goal in an unrealistic set amount of time, then no matter how much you manifest or whatever, it doesn't mean anything, does it?
No, no.
So my next question for you is
Okay,
what's
shoot.
so two questions. What made you want to run a 50K and your style of training?
Yeah, so we kind of went into this a little bit earlier,
Yeah,
but
we'll miss the 50K one then,
uh, yeah, I mean
unless you
I'll just
want.
change it around a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think with like a 50k, it just has that fear factor to it.
Yeah.
Like you hear someone's done a 50-kilometer run, and you think like, what is wrong with that person? Like,
I thought that was
why
you.
would you do that? Yeah,
It's when you sent me the thing on Snapchat and was like, "Are we doing this?" And I was like, "Fuck no, not at the minute. Not at the minute anyway. I'm just focusing on what I'm doing." And you were like, "Pussy."
yeah. Well, it's just that thing of like, why would somebody do that to themselves?
Yeah,
That just sounds
yeah.
like pain, a lot of training, a lot of hours.
No, I agree.
But I've always admired the people who've done that, so I thought
Yeah,
like, why am I any different to them?
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
what I'm going to do.
Nice.
And yeah, so the style that I've adapted is basically I'm never going to give up with powerlifting, and I want to enter a meet when I've got my lifts a bit better.
I think you should, mate. I think you'd do pretty well.
Yeah, I think for my weight class I'll be okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I've got this big thing of just staying jacked, lifting heavy weight. But yeah, so obviously I've had that in, and then I'm doing 3 to 4 runs a
yeah,
week,
yeah,
and yeah, it's good. But overall, you have to like really manage the volume.
yeah,
Like I can't go mega hard on a leg day because I've got
yeah,
a 12-kilometer like time trial the next day.
yeah,
So I kind of enjoy the challenge of that though.
yeah. I
Like
get that.
it's a lot to think about, and you have
Yeah,
to be quite
yeah.
scientific. But yeah, it's good. I recommend
But
it.
I like that style of training, I like the scientific approach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
managing like your volume.
yeah, exactly. Anyway,
Yeah,
I think that's your go now.
yeah. I need to ask you a quasi. Ooh, oh mate, I'm actually running out with these.
Same.
Um, you know what? Let's go back towards the podcast, like kind of what it's about.
Yeah,
How has like stoicism helped you within like your training? Because ultimately that's kind of what we're on about, like the
yeah,
psychology
exactly.
of performance.
So obviously Stoicism teach you discipline. Like I've got actually some of the principles of Stoicism here. So it's wisdom, justice, courage, moderation. So it's teaching you to take everything in moderation. Like for me, I've just a few months ago I started trying to change my nutrition because obviously I used to be a chubby kid, used to be a fat kid. So, but I started fitness and then I never really changed my diet. So like it's trying to I feel like it helps me with trying to take things in moderation instead of going with the old saying moderation's for cowards and then just get gorging on like chocolate or whatever. Like
Yeah,
for me it's moderation it teaches me and like the discipline side. And then like I'd say how it helps me in training is like it can be quite I feel like when you're invested in your training it can be quite emotional.
yeah.
Yeah, especially if like you've been trying at this lift and then you fail it and you fail it and you fail it, and then
The
you get
bad days.
yeah the bad days because the bad days do happen. You can't get rid of that shit. Like
Yeah,
it's like learning to accept I've had a bad day. If I let it dictate how I feel, then is it going to change anything? Just let
yeah,
and then if you've done something wrong prior to that day, like you've had shit food that's contributed to that, use that as a lesson to be like, I'm not gonna eat that shit before a training session again because that's probably what caused it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I can really relate to that, to be honest. Like I used to say I went to the gym
yeah,
and say, oh, normally I squat like 140 or something.
yeah,
Then today, 100 kilo feels so heavy,
mm,
and it's like, oh,
yeah,
instantly you're in your head, I've lost progress. Like, why can't I do this? Why is it
yeah,
so hard? And it's like you need to take in the other factors of like hot
yeah,
weather,
exactly.
what have you ate,
Have you,
and then the next day do better.
yeah, have you read a book? It talks about like how you know how you literally feel like you have two voices in your head. Some
Um,
like you have a voice that tell you have like so like the theory is it's called the chimp paradox.
yeah,
So like
okay, yeah, I've read that. Yeah,
you have the human voice, which is like the calm, the rational voice, and then you have the
The
chimp,
reasoning.
and it's like, and it's trying to tell you, I'm so shit. Like it's trying to. That's like
Yeah,
the overthinker, and like it's learning to have a conversation with yourself, and like trying to take
yeah,
control of the chimp, like try and manage
yeah.
it.
I find that on some of my runs because, like you mentioned with the chimp, is
I call mine Dave.
your body's always your body's always gonna choose pleasure. Like
Yeah,
if your body could stop running, it will.
yeah.
So you really need to just tell that voice in your head, we're going until we're
It's that.
not gonna go anymore.
It's trying to stop you from pain and suffering.
Yeah, and that brings me on to a really good point actually, down to you need to make hard choices
Yeah,
because your brain is like a muscle. If you keep going for that easy reward, easy pleasure,
your brain's gonna get used
when
to that.
you're yeah, when you're fatigued and you lack reasoning, it's going to choose that path
Yeah,
every time.
yeah, 100%.
So you really need to do hard things so that when you are fatigued and you're tired and
But
you
it get,
do want to
but
stop,
it
your
gets easier.
brain, yeah, your brain
Yeah,
makes the logical
it's
decision of what it can do.
it's like 1 year your one rep max could be 100 kilos, but in the future it's going to get easier to do 100 kilos. You're going to do it for more reps. So
Yeah,
like it's the same with hardship.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's like the Spartans
yeah.
used it's a term called the wintering.
I've never heard of that. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, so basically,
Oh,
I
I think I
mean,
know what he means actually. Yeah,
so what all battles used to take across in the summer.
yeah,
But what made the Spartans so good? I think it was the Spartans. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they would they would train throughout the winter. They'd put
yeah.
themselves through hardships and
Mm.
everything like that. So that when they came to these battles, they were just a level above. The brains were hardwired to that wintering that they'd
What?
done before.
Why you saying something about that actually? Like I remember when I was a kid learning about the Spartans, they used to leave like the weak children out like on the mountains or something, to see if they would survive, and if they didn't, then
Yeah,
they're not the people they want in like their
yeah. It's
tribe or their state.
I feel like it really goes with like cold plunges and ice baths and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Like this topic all links into that because that's wintering at its
yeah,
finest. Like then people who wake up every day, they go and just get into a cold tub.
yeah,
They've done something hard straight away,
mm,
and ultimately that is gonna winter like
yeah,
you into a better person.
yeah. I
So
like
yeah,
that. I like that term. Never thought of it like that.
yeah. I use it quite a lot just because it makes me feel like Spartan, as weird as that sounds. But yeah,
This is Sparta.
but yeah, it
Nice.
is a good term, and I reckon like you could really periodize your training using that.
Yeah, 100%.
So
But it's
so
also got
with
amazing recovery benefits as well.
with cold plunges.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I
yeah,
mean, I do one. I try to do it every day, but
mm,
sometimes life takes a different turn. But
mm,
I now use it as like my little time out to chill,
yeah, yeah,
like get a bit stressed out, or
mm,
I need time to just like really have a different perspective on what's happening.
yeah,
So I'll just go get in the tub because all you can think about in the tub is try not die because it's cold.
yeah,
You can only think,
100%.
oh my God, this is cold.
Yeah,
So and then nothing else really matters at that point. And if nothing else is really mattering, is
mm,
it that big of a deal?
yeah, exactly.
So it helps.
Mhm. Yeah. You got any more questions?
1 second.
We'll wrap it up in a minute anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming up to 50 minutes, so we'll upload the
Yeah,
episode at 50 if you want.
yeah. Well, we'll do a few more questions, not really long-winded ones, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so um, this way it gets awkward now. Quick, rapid fire. Best accomplishment, go.
Oh, I actually don't know. I'm one of them. I'm one of them people who uh I don't big myself up, if you know what I mean. Like for me,
Yeah,
I like to wait till I've got like a bigger accomplishment.
like a bit of a portfolio of what
Yeah,
you've done.
yeah,
It's like it's kind of like me. It's like when I was doing the rope climbs, like
yeah,
I thought this is amazing. I'm pushing myself every day. I look back at it now and I think it's a bit shit.
Yeah,
Like I want more, you know. So
yeah.
kind of how it
What
goes.
what's next for you then?
So I've got my 50K in October.
Yeah,
I want to sign up for a powerlifting meet.
nice.
Um, and then I think an Ironman's on the cards
Yeah,
eventually, to be honest.
nice, nice.
But yeah, what about you?
For me, obviously, I want to get better at CrossFit. Like
Yeah,
that's my next ultimate goal. There's loads of things I want to get better in that. And then I'm going in more of an academic path at the minute for the next, I'd say 5 years, like hopefully. So I'm going to uni in September to do sports therapy. Like I find the human body absolutely amazing. So like injuries, learning how to rehab people, that's going to be amazing to learn. After that, I really want to go and do a master's in physiotherapy if that's possible. But
yeah,
again,
definitely possible.
yeah, ultimately, I want to really get better on my own fitness journey as well. Want to try and enter a few more comps. Want to learn to handstand walk this year. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
All right, let's get a final picture of the dog, and we'll call it a
Yeah.
wrap.
Hey,
Right, go on. Give everyone a wave.
right.
All right, then.
I'll
We'll
speak
call
to
it
you
that.
soon. I'll speak to you soon,
Yeah.
mate.
Cheers.
Cheers. See you in a bit, mate.